Well, good afternoon, ladles and gentilhomme, or something like that. This box here, connected to that thing there, which now connects to that wire there that goes all the way up the wall and through a hole, and it... hang on. And it now is connected to, this is the thigh bones connected to the knee bone and all that sort of stuff. We got a nice new piece of wire goes up to that pole, and we've got a nice new piece of wire that goes all the way to that pole there, which stands in front of my friend Eric's house. And the long and the short of that is that Harry is back on the internet. There's a scary thought.
Bonjour mes amis, c'est jeudi le 8 de novembre, le 8e de novembre, et j'habite ici. Oh, that's enough of that, I think, for today. Right, it's been, what, a fortnight or so since I was last properly online. So things have happened. Got a settee and two armchairs that are exactly the same as this. I've got a coat hook on the wall and a mop and things like that, and life is looking very, very comfortable and rosy. The good news is, of course, I have got a kettle, so I have, of course, got a cup of tea or a mug of tea, and I've just had a visit from a chap sent to me by Orange FR. Last week we went to an orange shop and we said, "Nous achetons une maison, mais nous n'avons pas un téléphone." And the girl looked at me like I was mad, and then she said something in French, and then I said something in what I thought was French, and then she said, "Maman." And she got this other chap over who spoke beautiful English, and he said, yep, not a problem, we can connect you to the internet. You will need to have an engineer come. Anyway, while he was saying this, the young lady, she was checking on her computer, and she looked at him and she said, "There is no such house as this one." And he looked puzzled, and he looked at us and he said, "Could we confirm confirm the address?" And she said, "There isn't one, no such house." Now the young lad who was serving us in beautiful English then spoke to her in French, and I was cute enough to catch what he said. He said, "Just because it hasn't got a telephone line doesn't mean the house doesn't exist." You see, she was a young lady, born of an age when houses have telephones, electric, water, gas and all of those good things, and it was outside of her experience to find an address that she couldn't find on the telephone line record. Anyway, there was a conversation about what sort of equipment has the house got, and the young man smiled and he said, "Good, that just means that we need an engineer to come and reconnect you." He made an appointment, and the good news is the engineer turned up exactly as described, with a wonderful truck. I would have filmed it, but I didn't want to embarrass the man. How do we put this nicely? He looked like a man who works in all weathers. He was very polite, he was very, very proficient, and I've never done a day's work in my life, but I've watched a lot of people work. This man was meticulous, one of those men that puts a cable tie on something, pulls it in tight, nips it off neat, didn't leave any loose ends like so many people do. And he checked the line, and then he looked very puzzled, and he started whistling, and then he scratched his ear, and I thought, that's not good. When an engineer scratches his ear, it's not good. And he said, oh, he said, which I assume is the French for oh, in English. And he left his computer on my side and his equipment and what have you. And he went out to his van and he jumped in it and started it, and he said, Je retourne, which I thought was rather good. And off he went. And 20 minutes later he came back, still looking very puzzled. The long and the short of it is, he did an excellent job. He's strung some new wire up and he's checked everything, and it all works. It all works. So I'm back online. We can start boring you now with grass cutting videos and dirt digging and planting things and building maintenance. And tea drinking, of course, even in France. Au revoir, mes amis.